In this video, we're discussing the Quincy jobs within the processing options, specifically the options that you are only available in Quincy. Let me hop into the tool. It's easier to explain if we're looking at it. So let's go to process data, go to customize options. And if the first four options here are things that are in common with FTK, then what I'm really talking about is this box right here, the options that are unique to Quincy. So let me explain what each of these are, because again, you can't look to FTK or FTK documentation to figure them out. So the first box is related to the fact that Quincy is a web-based viewing tool, a web-based investigative tool. And because it's in the web, you need to convert documents for viewing in the web, and that's a bit of a pain in the butt. So depending on your user base and depending on what you're trying to accomplish, it's often smart to pre-process some of those documents so that the web viewing is really fast. Quincy offers you the option to present a first page image of the document or fully process the document completely for web viewing. It used to be we emphasized telling people to utilize this feature quite aggressively, but we've matured our viewer so significantly that at this point, honestly, I would de-emphasize this. This is only relevant if you have your viewer configured to view a lot of the first page images first. The default we ship with doesn't have any documents configured this way, and so really I would focus your attention here. And I would recommend generally it's probably best to just, if you're going to do anything, just do these two, and probably really just these, to be honest. Emails generate really quick in our HTML viewer. Graphics generate native in the are viewable native in the web. The only time I would consider this is if I have a ton of TIFFs. Those don't view natively in the web. Spreadsheets aren't good as PDFs anyway, and presentations. Maybe I could argue doing this as well, but this is kind of the max I would recommend personally. And generally, I kind of advocate for this or even just this. Anyway, that's what that is. Remember, you must have this box clicked or it won't register any of these sub options. Imaging. There's a lot of artificial intelligence in Quincy, and there's just more and more coming. We have two types of image recognition. We have category-based image recognition. We have facial-based image recognition. And these will compare images in your case against pre-trained categories. You have to have pre-trained the faces you want to look for. You do that. There's a whole video on facial and image recognition, so go view that if you're interested. But this is what these checks are for. There's also text-based AIs in Quincy. There's a statistical or near dupe text-based AI. So go ahead and select this if you want to do that kind of stuff. What similarity do you want? 80%, 70%, what? And how many features? We recommend that you choose 100. The number of features dictates how deep into a document we go for the sake of similarity comparison. Meaning, if you only had, let's say, 10 features, you'll only look about 20 words, maybe even less, maybe 15 words deep into a document to compare it to the other documents. And generally, that's probably not nearly enough. Now, you say, if I put 100, you say, geez, Tim, that's not nearly enough either. The reality is we've done a lot of testing with this, and in fact, 100 seems to be a good sweet spot between speed and good deduplicate or good near duplicate analysis. So I'm recommending 100. Do whatever you want, but the trade-off is speed. There is a structural AI as well, and this will extract text out of documents and then try to categorize them based on a pre-programmed neural network learning infrastructure. Again, there are videos on this stuff. Parsers. Do you want to parse out registries? Do you want to parse out cell phones? Do you want to parse out Apple file system? All these are unique. Actually, Apple file system, I believe, is now in FTK, so will probably be removed from this pretty soon. If you have the ABBY OCR viewer, you can use that. That needs to be set up properly, but if it's set up properly, here's the processing option. We have a number of different email options that are unique to Quincy. Email to count. This will create a new facet in your count that will tell you, in your case, that will tell you how many, to whom, to how many email addresses an email was sent. The reason that is important is because in a lot of corporate contexts, if you have emails sent to, let's say, thousands of people, generally they're not relevant to the context of an investigation. Thread suppression is a super cool feature. This will go through all your email and it will suppress any email that is fully contained within another email. What do I mean by that? If I send an email to you and you send it back to me, then we have two emails. Well, excuse me, I send an email to you and you reply back to me. Your reply back to me fully contained my email. And so the reviewer might not want to see both of them. And so this allows you to flag, if you will, or with a label, the ones that are not unique. And then merge emails and attachments. This is really for lawyers. This is for people who are going to print out documents and want to see emails, the email and then the attachments all as part of one single PDF. Legal review data reduction options. You need to be really careful of these. These are actually going to delete data from your cases. I strongly recommend you don't use them unless you really know what you're doing. But this will denist the case. It will basically remove all files that match whatever hashes you're using. This will remove all duplicates from your case, and this will remove all near duplicates from your case. In addition, you can remove folders and container files. You can suppress these things. All these things can be suppressed with filters. And so generally, I'm very hesitant about telling people to actually remove them. Instead, set up filters that will, by default, remove them from the view, but not actually pull them out of the case. But again, there are some situations in which you want them actually gone, and so you have that capability here. Anyway, those are the Quincy-only processing options. More will be coming every month, frankly, most likely. But that's what we've got at the moment, and hopefully you understood what each of those does. And the more complex ones, like I said, have sub-videos on them, so you can go view those. Anyway, thank you very much for your time, and I hope that was helpful.